Man, I am really impressed with Kyiah because she has such a great mindset. She has a really good head on her shoulders. She is such a mature young lady. She has a mindset that I was very impressed with to learn throughout this episode. We started off talking about her game and the recruiting process that she's been going through. Then we ended up talking about how she deals with the pressure and manage everything else going on between managing being a basketball player and still being a kid. How she manages being uh, on time and on target with her life and everything, but still managing friendships and everything that she has going on off the court. And it was just so, I guess you could say, refreshing to talk to her, to be so mature and have such a great head on her shoulders. Because I'm impressed. Because if I was 16 years old and I was the number one player in my class in Oklahoma and being ranked as well as she is, I don't know how I handle that. So I'm very impressed with that. And I think you'll become a fan of her just like I did too. So I appreciate you tuning in. Hope you enjoy it. And without further ado, welcome, Miss Kyiah. Yo, what is going on, man? I am BeBall Jones. I am simply a basketball trainer that is here to bring you the blueprint, the stories, and the mindset to help you make progress in your game. Appreciate you tuning in. Let's get it. Yo, what's going on, Miss Kyiah?
Nothing much, just chilling around the house.
Are you allowed to chill? Cause like you got too much you're trying to go after, so I don't know if you're allowed to chill though.
I mean, today is a chill day. Like, I didn't do
Mhm.
anything. I did go outside and help my grandma cut down some of her tree branches, but other than that, I haven't touched a basketball. That counts, so it's technically a chill day.
Are you? I don't know if you're allowed to have days like that. I think you have to keep a ball in your hands 24/7, 365. Isn't that what they say?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely like that, especially this summer. I've since colleges can contact me, so that's nice. So I work out tomorrow and probably run Wednesday and then work out Thursday and then Friday's kind of like a chill day. Maybe do some weights if I can. And Saturday we have practice for AAU. So
Yeah, I know you big time, man. You got a lot of big schools coming after you and everything. Like, I feel special just to be in your presence because you know you big time. Everybody coming after you. So, how does it feel to be sought after like that?
I mean, it's a great. I'm so grateful for it. I mean, I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for my parents playing with my dad or training 5 days a week when I was a kid. Like I started in third grade. I remember basketball was like the only thing I did. That in school, I was always working out. I was always playing. I was even out on the playground. Like I was beating the boys. I was like, oh no, like you think you're better than me? Well, you're not. Like it's always been like that. So I'm really grateful for my parents and how much time and money they put into me.
Mm. But I know at this point, it's like when we were kids, we're seeing the idea of having a scholarship, and we all want the big name schools and everything.
Yeah.
So at this point, has it kind of lived up to what you thought it'd be, or is it different? What is it like now that you're in that position?
I've learned a lot from the colleges that have been recruiting me, and just hearing from people that I played with, their point of view of college and how they got their offers. I mean, nothing's handed to you. You always have to work for a scholarship and everything, and especially for me, I'm playing up, so I play 17U. So a lot of the girls are 2025s. That scholarship that you might have and they might have, but if they commit, like your scholarship could be gone. So it's definitely to take accountability of what you're doing and like always make sure you're checking in with the colleges and making sure that they're still on the right side of you. They want you to be on the team and make sure they're really open with you on your scholarship because it can be taken anytime.
Has it been stressful for you? Because I know someone who they're at a JUCO now, and they're kind of like getting re-recruited now because their
Mhm.
time's coming up, and they're like, man, it's just stressful all over again. So has it been like a stressful process for you?
No, not yet at least because we haven't played in a live period yet. So colleges that hit me up on June 1st there were some new colleges, but it was majority the same, which I'm so grateful for everybody that contacted me. But it's really after July that's when like people are like, "Hey, we want you to come visit. We want you to come do this and that." And it's not gonna be really stressful. It's just knowing when to take a call and when to be like, "I'm busy. I would love to call you another day."
What has been the favorite part of all this recruiting process?
I would say like going on the trips. Like we went to OSU recently, and even though it's like an hour and a half drive down there, but it was so fun to just see a different perspective of Oklahoma and just seeing my sister and my brother there. They loved it. When we went to K State, it was just me, my sister, my dad, and just seeing a different atmosphere of than your hometown. It's amazing. It's like it always it might not be a good fit when you get down there because you're new to everything, but when you see like the girls and you talk to them, and you talk to the coaches, and you feel a different vibe after you're in that town with the coaches and players.
Mm. So at this point, have you? I know you haven't selected your school, but have you made a list of like you're definitely not on my list of what schools I want to go to, and you're like, okay, y'all still in the running. Like, have you thought a lot about what the process is like and how you're going to decide?
Um, No, I mean, my parents talk to me about it. It's really, I'm more worried about my education because I want to either do a dual major or major in sports broadcasting, so communications. So I haven't really settled down to who's in my top 20, I guess, or who's not in it. I'm still looking for the program that reaches out to me and looking forward to me being on their team and benefit them, but they're also benefiting me.
Hmm. How many offers do you have?
I think I have eight. Eight official offers, but there's also other colleges that are looking at me too.
You still got time, so
Yeah,
at
that.
some point you'll be in that top 20 for real. So you never know. But tell me about like when you first started getting offers. Was it like was it a surprise or was it kind of expected? What was like that first offer really like for you?
So some schools that aren't close to home. So I got an offer from Fairfield, and they're in New York, so they didn't really get to see me face to face unless it was on Facetime because we got to Facetime. And they were just like, we really like this and that about you. We like your versatility. We love your family because they also aren't recruiting me. They're recruiting my family. How my dad and my mom act in the stands, seeing if I'm doing something wrong, if it's the same reaction, or if my teammates are doing something wrong, are they getting mad at my teammates? So that's a big part of my recruitment as well. Just reading everybody, but they were like really interested in me, and they still are, and I'm still interested in them. But like my hometown offer. So like K State was an in person offer. OSU was an in person offer last year. Those in person offers, they don't have an upper hand. It just happens that I live closer to them. So they would rather talk to me and tell me in person how they feel and make eye contact and see me straight up with my family instead of making that phone call and offer me. So yeah.
And you keep saying hometown. Like where exactly are you from?
Okay, so I live on the in Oklahoma City, but I go to a Moore
Mm.
school, so I go to Westmore. But like where I live is considered South Oklahoma City.
Mm. And you were telling me earlier that so you play in a different place that you live in.
Yes.
Why?
Um, a big deal of it is that girls basketball in Oklahoma is like, from my perspective, is behind. So like, we have Trey Young, we have Team Trey Young. Love the girls to death. There, some of the girls even from Texas play on them. So there's always a good team for everybody. But my recruitment and based on my skills and everything is in Texas. I play for a Texas team, Pro Skills 17U. Um, they've made me so much better. I've never been so more versatile. Like they've got me. I'm on the wing this year, so it's barely like back down. Just more like drive and go or post up for a little bit, then kick out to the three. So Texas is more um, evolved in girls basketball. We have a lot of girls teams. We have probably 3 to 4 EYBL teams, 3 to 4 Adidas teams, and maybe 2 to 3 Under Armour teams down there. Compared to Oklahoma, who just has Adidas right now and a UA team. And I just didn't feel like those circuits. They're great circuits. I played on Adidas last 2 years ago, but EYBL is the top of the top, And if you want to go to a big school of Power Five, that's where you need to be playing at, and that's where I'm at. So that's always a good sign for me.
Yeah, I know how you feel about being in a underdeveloped environment when it comes to that. So I know it's tough for you, man. But was it an easy decision to just skip over and go to Texas, or stay in Oklahoma? Was that an easy decision to come across?
Um, the way it happened, I was overwhelmed at first because the traveling, I didn't know how it was going to go because we practiced Saturday and Sunday. But when my dad got this text from my head coach, Coach Taylor, um, he was like, "We really want her to come try out." Like pro skills was like the biggest when I was a freshman at that time. Going into my freshman years was so big. They made it to the Final Four last year in Nike National, so it was a dream. Like I was like, "Oh my god, this is really about to happen!" Like this is crazy. Like I can't believe. Went down there, made the 17U team, and been on it for 2 years now. And it was a really big change, but like you adjust. So waking up early to go down to practice for a 9 a.m. practice or 11 a.m. practice, and then coming back home on Sunday after 12 to 2, it's a change, but it's a good change at the same time.
Yeah, I know that sounds fun because I know, like you said, it's a sacrifice. I know it's a struggle, but it
Yeah.
has to be fun. You know, you playing in front of the big crowds like that against talent like that. I know that has to do something to you. Be like, oof, like if you're a
Yeah.
real hooper, that's something that excites you for it. So, how does it feel to be at that stage, at that level, doing everything that you're doing now?
It feels really good. It feels like all those years that I put in, and I said I didn't want to go work out, but end up going to go work out. It makes it of like, oh, this is so worth it. Like, I'm so glad I did those days that I didn't want to go do that because I'm now on a upper hand for most girls my age who are 16, just now either playing basketball or starting competitively in the UA circuit, Adidas or EYBL circuit. So yeah.
Mm. Talk to me about your game because you were saying how you're primarily, a post. You're 6'1", right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you primarily post, but now you're doing a little bit of wing action. So what's the change in your game been like lately?
Um, the change is just being quicker. Being my first step is quicker than my defender. Last year, high school I've always played guard. Middle school I've always played guard. So when I played with Pro Skills last year, we had a 6'8" girl. She goes to West Virginia now. Her name's Jordan Thompson. Me and her are considered our two post players, even though she is a legit post and I'm not, and everybody knew that. But it's just being versatile in the positions that you're needed in. So even though last year I had to play primarily forward, but I was shooting the threes that I could and I was getting rebounds that everybody needed to get. And then this year has been, for high school, I played mostly guard. And when there was a smaller defender on me or I'm getting double teamed, I was always able to make those kicks or make those and ones. But for AAU this year, I've been more on the wing and more consistent on my 3-point shot, which is a lot of the recruitment people have told me, can you get more consistent if you're going to be out there? So I've worked on that a lot. And just my attack dribbles, like me and my dad go over a lot of one-on-one moves or just play 21, just to know how it feels to when two people are coming at you, who do you need to attack or who do you need to look for in that double coming,
So you're a real bucket getter. Is that what you're saying?
basically. I try to be.
Okay, okay. So when you out here getting buckets, man, are you more of just like straight buckets, or are you more of a playmaker?
Um, a lot of people say I'm a playmaker, but I don't realize it. Like I start always inside out, so I'm always looking to get a layup first play of the game or a couple plays into the game. Then I might shoot a mid range. Then I might go out to the three. But a lot of my buckets are like based off rebounds sometimes or that one move go by. And if two people are collapsing, then it's a kick out. And a lot of people say like in like pro skills highlights, I'm passing the ball out, and I don't even realize that at the time that oh, that was a play. Like, oh, I just made that happen. It's crazy.
So you want to be just straight buckets, but somehow you just end up making
Yeah, I
assists.
just play. I feel like I played the right basketball because after a couple kickouts, then that defender has to step out. So now it's my turn to go score.
Mm.
Yeah.
Do you have a comparison to somebody that you feel like you do play like? It can be guys or women.
If it was a girl in the WNBA, I would say Brianna Stewart because she's so versatile and she also makes those plays for her teammates and then go gets her buckets. And for a guy, I don't really know because I've gotten compared. Some people call me Baby LeBron. I've heard that a couple of times in the crowd and everything. So I don't really know who I would compare me to as a guy because the league is changing now. Like a lot of the youngsters are coming in. So maybe after this NBA season coming up, I'll know then.
If you play like Stewie, then I feel for me personally, I feel like Stewie comparison is KD. Obviously, like
Yeah,
I think those two go hand in hand.
yeah.
So
And I would have to
you say
say,
that's fair. So you think you kind of like a little bit of a KD?
yeah, that little KD mix in there.
Okay, so if you're playing like KD, then you got to be a scorer. Like you got to be getting buckets.
Yeah, when I'm needed to get buckets, I get buckets.
Oh man, so is that what you want to play like though? Because I know sometimes you kind of like when we're kids, like you look up to be like. I grew up watching Kobe, so I was like, oh, I want to play like Kobe. And then
Yeah.
at a point, where I'm like, nah, I can't play like Kobe. I can't shoot like him. I don't have this. I don't have that. So now I'm morph my game to find somebody else I play like. So is that what you wanted to play like growing up?
That, yeah, definitely. Definitely being that IQ basketball player has been a big part of it. Like, a lot of people say I have the highest IQ on the teams, like, especially in high school, because, like, I'm making that extra pass. Like, of course I could have taken that shot, but is that the best shot we could have got when there's a wide open girl, when there's somebody running
Hmm.
at me, when there's nobody running at that girl? So I will say that's definitely how I've learned how to play. Like, my dad has taught me that. He was a point guard when he was playing, so it's like knowing when to make sure your buckets are given and when you go get your buckets and when to be like, nah, this is a way better pass or a way better shot to get, and just taking your time and like slowing the game down in your mind, even though when you're playing it's really fast.
Do you play defense?
Oh yes. So I personally, I'm getting better at guard defense. So like my sister's a point guard. I have to guard her all the time. I remember when I was getting blown by almost every play we played one on one or we'd play full court. But now I'm getting so much better on like that first change when they jab or just opening up my hips more. So it's been a great defensive year for me, I feel like. Especially taking charges. I've taken a lot of charges this year.
Okay. Hey, if you're taking charges, you're a real defender
Oh
because
yeah,
nobody likes taking charges.
exactly.
Oh man. So okay, when it comes to your post defense, though, how are you on that?
That I feel like that's my strongest suit because I am a bigger girl, so I'm 6'1". So a lot of the girls now are like 6'5", pushing 6'5" to 6'1". So I had to guard last year. We played Cypher. I had to guard Justice, who's now going to Texas. I guarded her so well she fouled out. It was the
Mm.
best game, best defensive game I've ever played. I don't even remember scoring. I was more worried about guarding her and shutting her down so we could win the game. We ended up losing by 2, but it was a great game. Defensively, my coach was proud of me. Offensively, he was proud of me. It was a good game.
Okay. If you had to guard you, who would win? Like, would the defensive side of you win? Would the offensive side of you win?
That's a hard question because I feel like offensively, I would do really good, but like my defender side is so much like they know how to adjust. I know how to adjust real quickly on the spot. Like when you tell me something like, oh, okay, I'm gonna fix that. So I feel like my defender side would win.
Really? Okay, that's interesting. What makes you say that? Because like usually you hear like great offense be great
Mhm.
defense. Good offense. I mean, good defense, better offense.
Yeah.
So you still feel like your defensive side will win?
Yeah, that's how you win games. Is your defensive side. Like if you can't shut down their best player and their best player scoring and then your best player scoring, the score is even. But if I'm shutting down the best player and then I'm scoring on the offensive end and they're not guarding me very well, then we're winning the game because my defensive side shut them down. and they didn't score as many points, and the other people on the team weren't scoring either.
Mm. Who taught you this mindset? Was it your dad?
Yeah, my mom and dad are really big on like team ball, but also getting your buckets and defensively. Like that's where my dad's always at. He said, if you can guard anybody, you're good. Like if you're very versatile defensively, what can they do? Because if you're putting on the point
Mm.
guard and all of a sudden you got to switch to the post, and now the post isn't scoring, it looks good on your end. So yeah.
Talk to me about your dad. What did he
Okay,
play?
my dad's name is BJ Rainey. He's a great dad. I love him to death. He's done so much for me, and he's like my trainer. I always say, everybody's like, oh, like, who trains you? Whatever. I'm like, oh, it's my dad. Like, they're like, it's your dad. I was like, yeah, I don't pay $150 a week to go train with some outrageous trainer and probably never do the moves in the game. But I can go train with my dad, and let's say we work out for an hour and a half, and I'm literally sweating like I've been outside in the sauna the whole time. So, yeah, he's done a lot. Him and my mom. My mom is the shooter of the family, so she always thinks that she can outshoot me, but never wants to outshoot me. She's always like, "Oh, I don't want to shoot today." Da, da, da. I'm like, because I can outshoot you now. So yeah, she's very like let's go, you got it. It's for my dad's very hard on me, and my mom's more like, well, if you did this better, then this might have not happened. As for my dad, was like, well, you should have never done that to begin with. And I'm like, yeah, you're probably right. I shouldn't have done that, but it already happened.
So who's the best hooper in the family?
If we're going off age, it's me because I feel like I'm the best. Obviously, I mean, look where I'm at now. But if we're going ranking, it'd be me, my little sister Aaliyah, my dad, my mom, and then my little brother King.
Mm.
Yeah.
Would your mom agree with that?
No, she would put herself first, even though she would always shoot the ball every time we play. We played 2-on-2 a couple of days ago, and it was me and my dad versus her and my little sister, and I could have sworn she did play no defense, and they still beat us because she shot so many threes. I was like, oh my god, like, can you just play defense?
Oh man. So okay, if your dad is your trainer, how is he not the best player?
Because he's teaching me more than, like, I feel like I'm the best because he's teaching me how he played and adding more. Like, he's making me better as he was. So, like, yeah, he's good. He was a great player, whatever. But now he's teaching me his knowledge plus adding more to my game. So I feel like I have an upper hand on him.
Mm. I thought you were gonna throw a shot and say he's old now, so I just wanted to see what
No,
you're gonna say.
I mean, he says he's like 27, but he's not. He's like 40 something. Like, let's not do that.
Let him live his life, okay?
Okay,
Maybe he still feels like he's 27 a little bit,
just a little, somewhere in
somewhere in his body. Maybe not the knees, but somewhere in the body he still
right.
feels 27. So let him live that, okay? Don't take his youthfulness from him. All right. And little sister, how much younger is she?
We're a year apart. So she
Ooh.
just turned 15 actually, on June 21st. That's the real.
So why is she not the best?
Because she's small. She's not bigger than me yet, so she doesn't
She's too
have
low.
like the post game yet. She's still learning it. We're still working on it right now. She has everything else, just not the post game.
Mm. Is she? How tall is she?
I couldn't tell you. I would say she's about my mom's height. So my mom's like 5'10" ish. She says she's 5'10", 5'11". So my sister's probably like 5'9", pushing 5'10". So yeah,
Mm.
she's gonna be taller than me. I've already accepted it. I'm done growing.
You never know. She might be done too. You hope so. Oh, okay. So tell me about little sister, man. What's your favorite part about her game?
She's a dog, man. Like,
Mm.
she'll talk. She'll get in your head. She'll make you feel like, man, why am I out here why am I here right now? Like she makes you want to go sit on the bench because you're so frustrated, like offense and defensively, because she'll shut you down. We play. She's gonna be a freshman next year with me, and we played in a summer league, and we played one of the girls who's committed to Oregon, and when I mean got in her head, that girl did not want to play no more. I was like, hey.
Mm. So, what does she have? Anything that's better than you? Like any skill?
I'd probably say her point guard skills, because that's what she is right now, and she's just like, oh, you need to be here, you need to be here. I'm like, okay, I'm there, I'm getting there right now.
Okay. So, if y'all two were on the same team during travel ball, AU,
Mhm.
what y'all looking like? Like, what's the scouting report against you two? How do we stop the sisters?
If we play together in AAU, I don't even know, because that's hard, because we said a lot of pick and rolls in high school together. So like, no, you either got to pick me who's rolling and stop me at the basket, or you got to pick her who has a great shot. So if they were on the same age team, I would say double team both of us every time we got the ball. You gonna have to double us and hope for the best.
So, is that tough?
Yeah, that's what I think. That from my perspective, seeing us play, nobody's stopping us, because you have to pick. You have to pick, man. You can't pick one and not the other. It's a 2-for-1 deal. If she's not scoring, that means I'm scoring. If I'm having an off game, she's having a great game.
Mm. Would you want to play with her in college?
Yeah, I mean, I would love to, but I don't get to make those decisions. It's on her. But we could definitely be that, like the twins that go to Miami. We could definitely be one of
Yeah.
them and get NIL deals and everything. But it's also about finding the best program for both of us.
Yeah, because when I asked it, that's the first thing that came to mind is those twins. I was like, that'd be kind of cool if you
Yeah.
could like play with your little sister. So okay, if you could pick like any, no, I ain't gonna ask that one. We'll stay away from that one. I don't want to get you in trouble or nothing. um, oh man, so what has it been like to hoop so far with your sister? I know you're not doing a lot because she just getting into a freshman year, but
Right.
what's it been like to hoop with her so far?
I mean,
Like,
it's been a blast. It's been like, it's fun just to see her walk in the gym with me and know that she's like legitly on the team now. It's like, oh, she knows the plays. Oh, I don't gotta worry about this and that. So yeah.
Big money.
Thanks, Dad.
we should have been talking about him, so I could have had you, talk about him right there. You still in the room?
I know he left. He'll be back soon.
Oh, dang. Let me know when he comes back so we can talk about him some more. All right.
I got
Oh, man. But no. So, yeah, playing with your sister, man. How does it feel to be like, because I know sometimes some older siblings get like that annoyance of being around the little sibling all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You ever get that?
Not really. I mean, we got in our first argument at team camp, but it wasn't like a legit argument. It was like, why are you picking up the ball right there, or why aren't you doing this and that? And the annoyance is not there because we have a great relationship. Like, we share a room, so we're always together. We have the same friend group, so it's like we know each other's like um point where like, get away from me, it's my time, like I don't want to be by you. So I think we're really like, that relationship has been, knowing the balance of when to be together all the time and when to have our own space has been really good.
Mm. Man, like my favorite thing from talking to you right now is like your mindset about stuff. Like you have a good uh leveled approach about everything. Like you have a scoring mentality, but you know how to pass to. You like offense, but then you like defense. You
Yeah,
enjoy family, but you know how to, like, where is all this coming from? Like, how did
this
you
is how
get
I
to
am.
be who you are?
This is how I am. I mean, I'm the oldest, so I've learned a lot. I mean, I'm probably the one they've been the hardest on. So it's like, you know when to say stuff, when not to. So it's just knowing. And you grow up. I've grown up to just be independent, but also know that I have family there if they want to hang out with me too.
But I know it's not all as smooth as it seems to be. So what's been like the challenge so far of life, or adjusting to this fame of being a superstar like you are? It's like, what's been like the challenge of everything you got going on?
I would say knowing boundaries, knowing like because a lot of people that know me, I don't really talk about basketball with them. Like I want to be that kid and be that friend. Like haha kiki. I mean that's
Mm.
really boundaries are a big thing with me because I know I play basketball and I know that I'm ranked 49 in the country and I'm number one in Oklahoma, but I'm not just that. Like I'm not just a basketball player. So having like people know different stuff about me and want to go do other things than talk about basketball or go play basketball is always a big thing for me.
With those boundaries, was there something that you like? Where did the thought of having those boundaries come from?
Um, I would say after freshman year, so going into my sophomore year, a lot of the kids at my school were talking to me because the rankings went out for Oklahoma. And I was like, I don't even, hi, like, how are you? Da da da. I follow you on Instagram. I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, like some people I don't even know, and they still say hi to me. And it's just being like friendly, but knowing like no, this is probably not going to be a friendship because I don't even know who you are and I don't know what are your um, goals to be friends with me because now that I'm this and that, are you being friends with me because I'm this and that? Are you genuinely wanting to be friends with me and wanting to hang out and spend time with me outside of school?
Mm. So what has been like the key thing that you've noticed between real friends and fake friends?
Um, I would say like it's gonna sound really bad, but like making TikToks and everything. Like or making videos because a lot of people like I have a TikTok account. I'm on TikTok. Like obviously, me and my sister do TikToks. Me and my friends do TikToks. But like when people they're like, "Hey, like, can you be my TikTok?" or "You want to do this TikTok with me?" I'm like,
Mm.
I no, please. I don't want to do that. That sounds. It doesn't sound genuine. I guess. Like it doesn't sound genuinely like I want to do this dance with you because you're here, and like we're friends and everything. Or like taking photos. We had a game we played against Norman, and it went into overtime, and we beat them. And a lot of people were there. A lot of the high school kids were there, and they're like, "Hey, guys, take a photo with you." Da da da. It's obviously cool because everybody wants to take photos with me, but like it doesn't feel genuine that you're happy that we won and you weren't even there to see the game. You're really there to watch the boys, so it doesn't really feel real, I guess.
So you still kind of deal with that level of not coming to watch you or the girls play?
It has gotten better. I mean, next year is going to be a drastic change because last year was our first time having a winning record, and we almost made it to the third round of playoffs. So it's going to be definitely different. There's going to be a lot more people there. I feel like, uh, just when I mean more people there, like they're not going to come rolling in at the end of the third quarter,
Mm.
coming into the fourth. I feel like they'll be there around end of the first, maybe at halftime, just to see the game.
Yeah, it's crazy because when I was in high school, the girls team was better than boys. It's just, I say what it is, and they ended up winning state our last year. So like the girls and everything that was in my class, they won state and everything. But the sad part about it was like the boys team real cool, but the girls team was better. They
Right.
won state, so obviously they're better.
Mhm.
But the attendance wouldn't show that. You'll
Yeah.
see a handful of at the girls, like maybe half would show up to show to the girls game. But like you said, late third quarter, somewhere in the fourth quarter, the crowd starts coming in, and you're
Pretending.
like, oh, the girls actually pretty good. Yeah, it's like the girls are actually pretty good. They're blowing the team out, or they're winning a good game. But then the boys come in, you don't see the same thing. I'll say that
Yeah.
it's not as good of a game. So it's kind of crazy that that's still going on. People like, oh, the girls can't play that well. I'm like, bro, they're state champs.
Yeah.
And see, like you have somebody of your caliber playing to still have the issues that you're dealing with. I'm like, it's kind of weird to hear. Like at this point, does that bother you a lot?
I mean, no, because you. It's like if they don't want to come, they don't want to come. But then when we win a ring, it's different. It's a different. There's always like pros and cons to them not coming. But I mean, this year or last year, our girls team was really good and our boys team was really good. So it was a give or take who would all show up to the game and what time they would show up. But it's I mean, it doesn't bother me anymore. I mean, freshman year, I was so like, why aren't people here? Like, we're doing really good. And it's like, now I'm just like, it's whatever. At least I'm playing. At least we're winning, but I'm playing the game.
You better than me, because I would have been annoyed. Like, I couldn't stand it. Because we had a girl, she ended up going to Mississippi State. And, like, it ain't no small feat to go to Mississippi State.
Right.
You know? So it's like, for us to have a girl of that caliber, we're in the playoffs every single year, and we're a state potential team. I feel like they would deserve more love and attention. So for you to be in a similar position of like, oh, okay, I'm going to all these camps and I'm getting recruited by Power 5 schools, it's like, oh, man, maybe we should see what the girls got going on over here. If they have one girl doing all that, and no telling what little sister going to do when she comes behind you. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, social media has definitely helped us a lot with that. Like posting game day flyers, or I'll post a game day flyer, and like I'll post it like in the morning or late the next day or whatever that we have a game the next day, and some people will show up, and it's like, oh, okay, like y'all really do look at my story and like, oh, we really need to go see her play, da da da. So yeah, social media has been a really big help.
So, okay, let's go back to the struggle of the boundaries. All right. So, have you ever had a situation where someone was kind of trying to approach you being a real friend, and then you see like, oh, you're just like everybody else here for the TikToks and like the social media cloud of saying, oh, I'm cool with Kyiah. Have you ever had that?
Yeah, I caught on at like the stage where we were like going to lunch together, I guess you can say, like that kind of stage, because we were in school at that time, and you can just tell like demeanor start to change, seeing you in the hallway starts to change. Like it's not like, I have a really close friend who even braids my hair. Like she braids my hair by getting all this braids, all that good stuff. Seeing her in the hallway versus seeing that friend, it's just a really like, wow, like, are you, no, don't do that. Like, don't be mean, and don't be cruel, and don't talk bad about people. And then you see me in the hallway and you're like, oh, hi Kyiah, how are you? Da-da, so good to see you. Oh my god, I can't wait to go to lunch. In reality, you're talking to your other friends or other people in classes that I know, and that will tell me that, oh yeah, she's not this and that. She's not. So yeah.
How do you deal with that though? Because I know it's like on paper, it's like, oh, just, cut them off and everything. But you have to constantly have this mindset of being aware of like, are you really here for me? Or are you here for you? So how do you deal with that when it's like a 24/7 battle?
I've just grown to like have a really small group. And I say all the time to my mom, it's like, I don't have any friends. I don't have friends. I have people that know me, and I know them. I know of them, but I don't have friends. So I've been very, I wouldn't say closed off to meeting new people, but just having that extra wall up to be like, you're not getting in my small group of friends.
So at this point, you locked in. These your day one homies. You good with them,
basically.
So were they there before you started popping, or like once you started popping, it just kind of filtered through that? How did you get with them?
A lot of them were there. A lot of them. So I have 3 girls who I all went to elementary school with and middle school with that I'm really close to this day, and they've been there since I sucked when I'm like working on my game and I wasn't ranked yet and all that good stuff. 2 came through within my upbringing of offers and everything, and they've been the best people ever. They've helped me like stop worrying about all this and that and all the rankings when I wasn't ranked and everything. And now that I am ranked, they're like, oh my god, congratulations, see, it all paid off, da da da. So yeah.
That's dope, man. Because I know in high school in general, you're gonna have fake friends and real friends. And then I know in your position it's even more heightened because it's so weird, because you have all this random attention. Everybody knows your name, but then you know like 5 people names. So it's like This is kind of weird, but I feel like you'll be able to handle that well, just knowing how your mind, like just seeing how your mindset is and your personality and stuff. So I feel like if anybody can handle it, I feel like you can.
Yeah, definitely.
But is it weird to kind of have all the fame and attention?
At first it was, but then it kind of dies down. It kind of like lays back. So my dad trained these three girls the other day, and they really wanted to meet me, and I was like, okay, like I didn't think nothing of it, and I had like, I had worked out before that, so I had like a tank top on that said EYBL on, and they're like, oh, what's that? What's that? And they were like 9, so it's just nice to know that people like are still rooting for me or still wanting to know who I am, but they're not like Cam Wilder and them saw it in Oklahoma, and they're like, oh, I gotta get a picture, running over each other and all that good stuff.
So do you feel a lot of pressure with everything you got going on?
No, no, it's not pressure. There's no pressure in this. It's just what I do. You shouldn't feel pressure when you're doing something you love.
But you're in a position where you have a lot of eyes on you. You're in a position where, one wrong move, things can go left for you. So you still don't feel pressure when it comes to that.
No, because everybody makes mistakes, and if people can't see that I made one mistake, then why are you, why are you around me? If you can't think I can't make one mistake, so what? I said I posted one video that I accidentally didn't need to post, and I took it down right after that. And you're like, oh my god, she posted this. She wasn't supposed to post that. It was on accident. I didn't mean to do that. I'm not trying to put that image on me. And everybody knows if you meet me in person, if you see me or you talk to me, I'm not that type of person.
Hmm. I like that because I feel like a lot of kids in your position would be like, man, you could go one way or the other. So when you're asked like, it's nothing.
Yeah.
I'm still a kid. I'm still just want to have fun. It is what it is. But on the other half, you have is like, you don't know exactly how to move because you
Right.
can't really be you because then it's the judgment that comes with it and be able to handle that judgment is a whole other conversation. So, man, I'm starting to become a bigger fan of you, man. Like, I'm really starting to like you. You seem pretty cool. Oh, man. Like, okay, was that something you kind of trained within yourself or was that something your parents showed you? Like, how'd you get that mindset?
I mean, I've learned it all myself. So like on my TikTok account is public, my Instagram account is public. So like knowing what to post or like what song to post to if I want to do something, it's like I do the TikTok or whatever, and I'm like listening to the music, but I'm like I could really go famous for this, so I'm like, should I just post it? Like it's one of those things. Like I'm TikTok is to have fun. It's not my business account. It's not to feel like everybody's looking at this da da da. And so it's like whatever. Like it's so what it says one or two cuss words. Like it everybody knows everybody some people say cuss words, some people don't. As for Instagram, it's more like more of my highlights and everything. So I am more cautious with that. But at the same time I'm still myself. Like I'm not gonna not post a highlight of me and it has Cardi B playing. Not saying that I would do that because I probably wouldn't, but like stuff like that. Like people think it affects me, and I'm always in my head about that. But in reality, it's like if you're recruiting me or you want to know more about me, then like this is how I am, and I'm not really big on how my it's like how my images look on social media is a reflect on me. Yes, it is a reflect, but it's not a full reflect on me because you would have to come to me in person and you would see a completely different person. I feel like.
So how do you feel like, how do you manage being, because it is kind of somewhat of a business at this
Yeah.
point, you have to have an image and all those things. But so how do you manage keeping the image and reputation that you have and still having that innocence of being a kid and keeping your childlike fun still going on?
Um, it's back to boundaries. It's like knowing when to work out at what times, I guess you could say, versus like I want to go hang out with my friends and go to the pool for a little bit. Um, a lot of my workouts will be really early in the morning or like around 6 or 7 at night. So that's always a good balance. And then during school, it's a lot of workouts during the week. and like Friday night or Thursday night I'll go to a football game. But I make sure I had my workouts done early in the week to make sure I can go to that football game or go to that friend's house and stay the night. So yeah.
You got a good perspective on that because I know a lot of parents and kids are just like have to work 24/7. Like I was joking with you earlier, it's like you're allowed to have fun and you're allowed to do stuff because
Yeah.
you hear so many trainers and so many coaches and parents are like, my kid has to work all the time and you can't go out and do this, you can't go out and do that. And I'm
Right.
like, bro, they're 12. Like, come on, man. Like,
Exactly.
I think it's funny, but it's not funny because that's a whole person's childhood you're kind of messing up.
Mm-hmm.
Like if they wanted to do that, then maybe.
Different.
Yeah, but a 12-year-old man, like they don't know. They
Probably
want to
worry
play
about a
games.
Nerf gun or B gun, shooting people with it.
Exactly. They want to be on TikTok with you doing
Exactly.
dances and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so if another girl who is in your position of playing basketball and everything,
Mm-hmm.
but they feel the stress of needing to do more. Like I have to train, I have to work. I can't really go out and have fun like I want to. What would you tell her?
To take a break. If you feel like you're needing to push yourself more, it's always good to sit back and take a break and reflect and see what you need to work on, see what you need to do to get better in your eyes. Write goals down. Write goals down. That's really a big part. Not just basketball goals, life goals in general, or school goals, all that good stuff. And talk with your parents. Don't be afraid to be like, I don't want to go do this today. I mean, they might get a reaction, but it's going to benefit you at the end of the day. Overworking yourself is not a good thing. I mean, that's how people get burned out and like, I don't want to do this anymore. So yeah.
Yeah, it's so many players that I've talked to, man, that they would have been at college or they were at college for a year or so, and then they're like, "Yeah, I can't do this anymore."
Exactly.
Like, there's one guy I was talking to. He went to D1 school, mid major, and he was doing fine at first. I mean, he was doing okay as far as what he was capable of doing.
Right.
He was just saying he was getting burnt out at that point because his dad was pushing him so much, and he finally got to college and was like, "I can't do this anymore." Like mentally, he wasn't doing good. Physically he was doing all right, but the wear and tear of basketball will
Yeah.
get to you.
If you're mentally not there, then like your body's just gonna eventually agree and just be like, nah, we're done.
Yeah, and it's like just hearing how his dad was with him, and I look at kids I'm training, I'm like, oh, that looks kind of similar. I don't know how to. That's tough.
Yeah.
And so, like, part of me wants to step in and kind of say things, but I'm respectful of what they have going on, because I don't want to, overstep my boundaries or anything. But sometimes I get a little concerned because I'm like, man, they just want to be a kid sometimes and have fun. Like you can train, have fun with that, and then turn that switch off and still be a kid at the same time. And just, I don't know. I think people need to be like you. They just need to you need to write a book and just be like, this is how I became so great. And then
I gotta come up with a title first.
Just call Get Like Me or Get on My Level, something like that.
That sounds pretty good. I might use that. I'm gonna quote you on that too. I got you.
I just need 2% of every sale and we good.
We'll think about it. I'll think about it.
I don't think I'll think about it too hard, but it's okay. It's all right. All right. I forgot my question I wanted to ask you. Dang. Oh, I remember. Got you. So when it comes to your mental health, how are you keeping up with that?
I mean, mentally, my dad and me and my mom have sit there and talked about things that I think that they should be doing, or stuff I'm like, why is this happening? Like, why is this girl doing this and that, and I'm not getting that same respect back. There's a lot of talking about it. Like everything is should be a conversation mentally if something's bothering you, or running. My dad will run me 20 sprints. After 5, you walk down there. You walk down. It's mentally, I'm like, why are we doing this? I don't need to be doing this. I should be shooting the basketball. I should be dribbling. I should be playing. But like then I look back at like some of the games I played after I ran those 20 sprints. And I'm like, man, I look like I'm running fast. I don't even look tired. So like it's like mentally he's preparing me for a coach in college to be like, get on the line, we're running. And like I'm like, dang, like I really gotta do this, but it's really benefiting me at the end of the day.
Hmm. So overall, you've been doing pretty well mentally. Like you
Yeah.
never had like a really low pocket or nothing.
Mm-mm.
Really.
Yeah, I know it's kind of crazy. It's kind of like a lot of people like ask me, like some people ask me that question, like, "How are you doing mentally?" I'm like, "I'm fine. Like, I'm great. I'm happy. Life's going good."
What's been like the worst day or moment that you've had?
It was October 1st, the first day of practice. I rolled my ankle really bad. Like it was swollen bad. Like I thought it was broke, and I like thought my career was over. I was in tears for like 3 days straight. Um, I went to the high school trainer because it happened on high school grounds, so they had to take care of me. They're like, we don't, it looks fine, but you should go get it checked out. So we went to this thing the school goes through, got x-rays on it, and it was just a really bad sprain. But it was purple. It was ugly. It was so bad. It was like, what? Ugh, ew, why would that happen? I set out for, I was supposed to sit out for 4 weeks. But I tested my limits, and I came back within 2.5 weeks. Um, that was really like draining for me mentally. I feel like that's when like my mental health was really like, wow, like I'm not gonna be able to play. I have to sit here and watch my team run plays with me in a boot, watching it. Or in I was in crutches at that time, but it was still like hard because like knowing that your team needs you and scrimmages are coming up. We had like this really big more super scrimmage. I end up getting to play in it, but it was just like hard. It was hard to see myself sit there and not be able to like put a ball in my hand and go shoot a layup, go shoot a right hand layup or a left hand layup without feeling pain shooting down my leg. So yeah.
That's really your worst day.
Yeah, that was like I thought that was over. Like that's like I was like, oh my god, I was so upset with myself because I could have prevented it if I would have worn my ankle brace, but I was trying to be played a hero and hurry up and get to practice on time instead of running for being late, and I paid the price. But now I'm doing good. Everything's better. No ankles. No ankles are doing good. They're not broken or anything. Wear my ankle braces every day now. Every practice, every game. So yeah.
And that was last year?
Yeah, technically it was October 1st of 2023.
Because you remember the date and everything, so I'm like,
Yeah.
that has to be recent.
Yeah, it was ooh, that was crazy.
So if that's really your worst day, then life is great for you.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because a lot of people have very different stories of that. Because not to belittle your worst day, because I know injuries can mess up an athlete, like mentally. Like a lot of people don't realize that when you have a severe injury like that, that can kind of mess you up, especially if you like really missing time. Like if you only supposed to be out 4 weeks and you cheated and you did 2.5, But if you have like a real injury that has you down for months or you miss a season or something, that can really mess you up because you get to a point where basketball is such a big part of your life. For it to be taken away for that long of time, it's like, what
Hey,
am I supposed to do?
exactly.
What
That's
is
how it
going
was.
on?
I literally went to school, watched practice, went home, ankle stretches, they did the same thing the next day.
So how'd you mentally overcome that though? Like I know that's repetitive and very boring, but how did you get yourself to not get too low in that funk?
I would say just knowing that the athletic trainers at my school were there and they're like, well, this is what we need to do. They would like massage it out and it would hurt so bad. But afterwards, I felt more mobility and I feel like I could walk on it. and we did a lot of stuff. So like my athletic trainers are the best. Like a lot of people's like, no, mine are, but like no, mine legitly cared and made sure I was ready before my first game. And I was like, oh yeah, this is good. I'm good to go now.
So in that season of you not doing anything, those 2.5 weeks, is that when you kind of started thinking about life outside of basketball?
Yeah, yeah. I spent a lot of time like trying new things. So I started baking. I baked like 3 cakes. I made brownies. I like watched a lot of movies, like movies that I've never seen before or would never thought that I would like. So it was good.
Hmm. And is that when you decided you want to get in sports media? Like when did that idea first come?
Um, Actually, I like was on another podcast like yours, and I was like, I just like talking. I would love to do this, and now I get to ask people questions of my own. So I was like, one of those things. And one of these girls who's out of Texas, her name's Britt. She does a podcast too, and she's helping me with that because I was like, I gotta start my own. I gotta talk about this. Like, I want to talk about things too, like everybody else is. So yeah.
All right, cool. So talk to me like okay, I'm gonna give you a couple minutes. Like what is your podcast about and what would you have it be about? Like tell me like the framework of your podcast.
So I have a title. So I'm there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm basically there. It's gonna be called Raised in Texas, but Texas is in parentheses. It's basically gonna be my journey and other people's journey who play outside of their state basketball and like their perspective on walking into a different state and feeling like you belong there. And talking about like things or people that have happened and you're like I don't think that should have happened to them or they deserve to be ranked when in reality this is how I played against them and all that good stuff.
Mm. So if you were interviewing you, what would you like? What would a couple questions be like?
um how does it feel to go down to Texas and be the only Oklahoma girl on the team? What is it like playing against the number one girl on ESPN? Because I got to do that. And then, what is it like playing girls that are older than you and are going to the next level that you would like to go to?
Mm. Okay, I just thought it was a really great question. All right, so what does it feel like to play the number one girl on ESPN? What does that feel like for you to go through and experience that?
So last year, um, it was before the rankings come out. So you technically, I guess you get ranked like this year. I guess going into your junior year, I didn't even know that. It's called the Terrific 25. Is when like they set out for the top 25 girls that they think that make the list next year. And the girl on there was Jersey Robinson. I'm sure you know her. Everybody knows her. She's gonna play USA. She used to play for Team Why Not. So we're at Nike Nationals last year. We're I think that was 2 games to get to the finals. We played her, and my number one goal and my coach's number one goal was for me to shut her down. And within the end of the first quarter and going into the second quarter, she had to sit down because I drew 3 foul calls or charge calls on her because I was taking charges on her. And that was a game changer. And then I hit the game winning free throw. So that was a nice add a little bit to it. But I was more worried about defensively shutting that girl down because if I can guard your best player and shut them down, and then my team's doing so well on the offensive end because you can't guard because now you can't foul, you have 3 fouls, then we're going to win the game. So yeah.
And what does it feel like when you're going against these older girls in this older competition? Like being so young, going against older girls. What does that feel like for you?
It's cool. Like seeing these girls that I played against or played with in a camp, knowing that like they're going to UCLA. One of the girls I played with is going to UCLA next year. It's like, man, like I have the opportunity to go play big, and then the next person coming up behind me is like, I got to play with her. Like it's so wonderful to say I got to play with Jordan Thompson, who's going to West Virginia, or Kennedy. Oh, what's her last name? Kennedy Evans, who's going to OSU right now. Like, it's so cool to say that, and people are like, no. I'm like, no, but I have pictures to prove it. I have pictures and videos of us during team when we had our team time and we had team bonding of us just goofing around together.
Yeah. You got any more questions that I should ask you? I just stole those from you.
No.
But no, I think that's a solid idea for a podcast. I talked to you off here about my little idea on how you could do that differently, just a little bit. I don't want nobody to steal it, so I got you. I'm looking out for you. But so when you're doing your podcast, is everything gonna be in person, or are you gonna do like virtual like this?
I haven't really got to that point yet. I'm still trying to figure it out. One of the girl, Britt, she gave me a mic and everything, and she said I can just get an adapter and use my phone as a camera. And I'm probably just gonna start over like TikTok stuff, like like a day in a life, and get to do a voiceover on it. And then I'll probably like get more into it before I like get serious about it, because I want to try it out before trying it out. Basically, like I don't want to get all into it and then I don't have enough time to make another episode or interview that person that wants to be interviewed on my thing. So yeah.
Yeah, running a podcast is not as easy as people make it seem.
Yeah.
It's a lot that goes into it. So, man, you really have a mature mindset, man. Like I'm really impressed with that. Like I'm almost jealous because I wasn't like I was mature when I was younger, but I don't think I was like your level of mature. Like at 16, nah, man, I wasn't. Mm-mm. How can I be like you, man? I want to be like you when I grow up. How can I be on your level? How can I get like you?
I mean, you just have to be born with it, honestly. Like you have to go like, into everything with an open mind and just like know that things are gonna happen that you can't change, or that you can't be like, no, that's not what happened. Like everybody has their own opinion. Everybody's gonna say something about you that you don't think is true or you don't like, and you know that's not true. But it shouldn't bother you. It should just roll off, because at the end of the day, you know who you are and you stay true to you.
Do you read a lot?
No, actually, I'm really bad at reading. It's horrible. Like that is probably my worst subject. And everybody's like, you talk like you like read and everything. I'm like, no, like I probably have only picked up one book this summer, and my mom's probably mad at me for it.
Well, hopefully she doesn't watch this part of the podcast. If
Oh,
she
she's
does
probably
watch
in
it.
the other room listening, so I'll be here in a minute, probably.
Oh man! So how did you get to be like this way though? Because like I hear what you're saying about you not reading books and stuff. So I'm not saying as far as like you being well spoken with your thoughts and everything, but just the information that you're able to have. And when I say people are well spoken, I don't mean like the enunciation of your words.
Mhm.
I mean for you to have an idea in your brain and be able to communicate it and make it come out to where people can understand that. I consider that to be well spoken. So how did you get to that level where you have ideas and everything, and you can pontificate it? Had a big word in it, so I sound smart too. But pontificate it to where it's so clear and it makes so much sense.
I mean, I guess it's just talking, like being a people person, because like you have to talk a lot in basketball and outside of basketball, like meeting new people, ordering food. You could be ordering food and just saying like one thing wrong. I'm not saying it wrong, or just pronouncing it like you said, or you didn't explain it the way it was going to. You can get your order wrong. So just having that thing of like thinking before you speak. Like don't stutter, or if you stutter, it doesn't matter. Like you're gonna stutter, you're gonna get nervous when you're on an interview, or somebody's like, oh my god, who are you, da da da, and you have to explain to them who you are and why do you think that way, and philosophies and everything. So like just thinking before you speak and taking your mess ups is not mess ups, just something that another thought came in your mind, and then it came just a little bit too close when you were talking, and so then it made you sound differently than you wanted to sound.
Mm. Yeah, I can tell because you're definitely more extroverted. You are. You probably like when you were a kid. Did you go up and talk to random people?
I wouldn't say that. I like from where I am now, from then, like when I was a little kid and everything, I was more quiet. I don't like public speaking, but now like, well, I'm gonna have to
Mhm.
do it one day. So it's gotten way better. Like it used to be bad, not bad, but like I'd be like, Mom, can you order my food for me? Like that.
Mm. Okay. I'm just really impressed with you, man. Because it's a lot of kids who aren't as well spoken, like I said before, able to get their thoughts out clearly. And for you to have been a little bit more introverted and you had the foresight to see, you know what, I'm going to be on platforms and doing certain things. Let me adjust myself to be able to think through and communicate well how I need to. So I'm very impressed, man. I feel like you might be taking my spot on this podcast one day and just doing great things. So I got to get what I can before you start going. So,
Going wild, going
all right.
crazy.
Let me know when you start so I can start packing my bags up and get out the way and let you take over. All
Maybe
right.
I'll feature
Just give me a
you
little.
on one of the episodes.
Hey, I don't know if I'm qualified for it, but we can figure something out.
Yeah, we will.
So, all right, man. I think I'm done. I don't think I have any more questions for you though. Got anything else in your heart you want to share with the people?
No, just go play basketball and be the best person you can be.
But you're gonna beat them, right? If they come against you.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I'm just not gonna say that.
But you kind of just did, so
They'll get over it. It's whatever.
you're not a big trash talker.
No, I mean, this weekend I did get a tech for. I got an and1, but it was a really good tech. It didn't look like a tech. Okay, let me give you the scenario. There's like a minute 30 to go. We're playing side fair. Okay, the play is called for me. I get the ball. The girl fouls me, and it was a legit foul. Like I'm not saying like I was swapping or anything. Like it was a legit foul. Get the and1. She takes the ball out, and I just clap in her face. From my perspective, I shouldn't have got a tech because there was other things going on during that game that other people on the other team should have received a tech for. So me clapping in the girl's face, and we just happened to make direct eye contact when it happened, should not result in me getting a tech. But that's what happened. But no, I'm not a big trash talker. I've learned that trash talking can end up people thinking the wrong way and fights end up going down, or pushing matches, I guess you can say. It's not really fist throwing, it's pushing matches. And it's just people talk mess all the time, and it's how you respond to it. You can respond however you want. I'm not saying you don't have to speak back, but I'm not the person that's going to speak back. I'm just going to be like, okay, whatever. Like, at the end of the day, the scoreboard says differently, or how you're guarding me, because you're not guarding me well at all, says differently.
I feel like you have a very highbrow trash talk.
Yeah,
Because what you just did right there.
I've learned to be sneaky, I guess.
Yeah, I hear it. Like I pick up on the very subtlety in your trash talking. Like it's like the scoreboard says something, but you're saying a different
Yeah,
thing. So I'm just like, what are we talking about here? Like,
exactly.
I hear it. I got you. I'm here with you. So I want to hear more of your trash talking. So I'm gonna hit you up one and be like, hey, how's your trash talking been going so far in the season? Like,
Yeah, we'll see. High school next year, I can feel the energy with my sister being up there. There's gonna be a little bit more trash talking because they're gonna say something about Aaliyah, and I'm like, see, that's what you got me wrong, because you're not gonna start. It's one thing to start trash talking, and then you mention my family. It's like, no, you're on a whole different level, and it's not okay.
because I feel like your sister's gonna talk,
Oh yeah,
and then at some point you're gonna have to jump in with her. Like she's gonna get you riled up and revved up. Y'all gonna have a run where you get a block or something, you throw it down to her, she makes a lay, she get an and one. Y'all going back and forth, and it's like a 6 point run y'all go on, and she's talking, and now you're talking,
yeah.
and then one of y'all get teed up,
It's
and y'all still going up. Like that's gonna happen. And, be like, I told you, I tried to
definitely
tell you.
a big trash talker. Like her trash, it's so funny to me. Like people like think it'd be me, and it's not me. I'm like, no, I don't talk trash. There's like I don't see the like hype about it. And as for my sister, she's like, "Oh, I'm about that life. And if they gonna talk, I'm gonna talk back." I'm just like, "Oh,
I'm like, well, I'm kind of like you to where I don't talk at all,
mm-hmm.
but when I'm training and stuff, I will talk. But it's really entertainment for me just to mess with
Exactly."
the players and be like,
Like, "Oh,
that
you're
was
gonna hit the
cute. I
next
thought,
shot," and they're like, "Yeah,
yeah, like little stuff. Exactly. Like they start, man, I'm gonna beat you next time. Like, bro, you said the last 5 games and you still haven't beat me yet.
right,
Like, all right, that's cool. Like, I love the confidence though. The confidence is amazing,
yeah."
but it doesn't do anything for you
It's
beating
not
me.
helping you out.
Yeah. Or they be like, I'm not scared. I'm not worried. That doesn't mean nothing to me. I don't care how scared or worried you are. You lose
if
either
you
way.
were,
So
if you weren't scared and worried, you wouldn't be saying you're scared and worried.
I'm gonna take that one too. I don't use that one, but I'm gonna take that one. Okay, give me some more pointers. Something else I should say. All right, give me something else.
I don't really know, cause that's about it. I mean, I don't really nothing else. Just what's a good one? I'm trying to think of stuff that I would say or do to help somebody out. Because a lot of people ask me for advice, and I'm like, well, you're asking the wrong person. I would just say,
You do have something.
huh?
You do have something.
Yeah. I would just don't worry about the rankings and over time people posting other athletes and more showing more care for them than people that are underrated. I mean, I would have to say I'm an underrated player, not being ranked until this year. I didn't make the terrific 25. Say that's, I mean, it bothered me, but it didn't at the end of the day because I'm here where I am now and I keep growing. And soon enough, I'll be in that number one spot or top 3 or top 5. So, yeah.
Is that what motivates you sometimes? Like getting those rankings?
Yeah. Because I know most of the girls that are on that list and I know how I played against them and I've seen them play and I sit there and I'm like, I know the truth. Now that game that they might have saw might have been the best game, but I know how they legitly are and how I played against them.
That's what I want to hear. Thank you. That's like that's the nicest trash talk you can talk, but it's still a level of trash talk because you feel like you're better.
Yeah.
So I will take that. Anything else you want to say to any of these other girls that are ranked over you?
See you here in 2 years. When the official list come out, top 100.
Hey, that's what I thank you. You scratched that little itch from me. I wanted to hear you talk a little trash now, and you've done it. So thank you. I appreciate that. So I think we can end the podcast on that note, unless you got something else.
Nope, that's it.
All right. So this has been so much fun. I have been entertained. I said before it's going to be a good one, and you did not disappoint. So I appreciate you for making this very entertaining to do. Yeah, if the people want to stay in touch with you, Instagram and TikTok are the main 2 sources.
Yes. Just follow me. Just follow me and DM me. If you have any questions or you want an opinion on something, I'm here.
Mm. And then whenever you get the podcast going, they can follow along with that too.
Definitely that. Definitely that.
Yeah.
Definitely stay tuned for that. That will be coming in 2025.
All right, cool. Okay. So, but yeah, hit her up and DM her. Be like, yo, I'm a big fan of yours too. I saw you on the podcast. You were dope. You were amazing. You were funny. You were well spoken, like B said, and you're a fan of hers too now. So if you want to follow me, I don't talk trash that much as her. She's crazy. She talks so much more trash than me, guys. I don't know how she makes it, but nah, follow me everywhere on everything. It's BeBall Jones. But follow her journey, man. Like she has a bright future ahead of her. I feel like no matter which route you go, you'll end up doing pretty well. Like because you have a good
Because I'm
mind,
well
you have a
prepared.
good head on your shoulder. Yeah, like if I was younger, I'd be like, man, she seems pretty cool to hang around. So, but I feel like you talk trash to me too, like you can't guard me, and then we have a problem.
See,
And then
that's where the line is like so bad because people like, especially boys, will be like, "She can't guard me. I'll beat her 1-on-1." I'm like, first of all, I don't even want to play you because I know how the outcome's gonna come. So you saying this is so irrelevant. Or I'll hit him with were you a freshman on varsity? Did you start on varsity freshman year? And it hurts. And I know it hurts. It hurts so bad. Sorry, not sorry.
oh, I love the trash talk. I love it. I really enjoy it, man. This is beautiful to see. So if y'all want to get some trash talk from her, just hit her in the DMs and be like, you can't guard me.
Yeah, respectful
And
trash talk. I got y'all.
yeah, very highbrow, very respectful trash talk. But just don't do her little sister because I feel like she will come at you.
That's when the disrespectful comes in, and you're not.
Yeah. Yeah. So don't mention little sister unless you want to, have an issue. So just keep on the nice side. Just talk trash to her and leave the family out of it. Okay. But nah, this was fun, man. I really appreciate you coming on. I enjoyed it. And I guess, we'll keep in touch, and see what your career holds for you. And then maybe I can figure out a way to come all the way over there and watch you play or something. So
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. But appreciate you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. Appreciate it. See you on the next one.
See ya.